you can. Welcome to MacroCode. If you're new to this channel, consider subscribing and watching our previous videos. So today we are going to do something very interesting. So we are going to create a .NET MAUI SQLite app, an employee's mobile app on .NET MAUI. So we are going to create our sample app. So I'm using Visual Studio 2022 preview, which has .NET MAUI. So I'll just proceed and create. Then I'll choose .NET MAUI app. So this is a project for creating .NET MAUI application for iOS, Android, Mac, Catalyst, Windows UI, and Tizen. So I'll just select it. Then we can call it employee app. So that is my folder. Then I proceed. Then let's use Windows, .NET 7.0, which is the current version. So it will launch our application. So .NET MAUI. So if you are new to .NET MAUI, just to explain what is .NET MAUI, some of you guys might have developed app for using Xamarin. So .NET MAUI uses the latest technology for building native apps on Windows, macOS, iOS, and Android. So .NET MAUI now comes and replaces Xamarin. So it's actually the new .NET MAUI is the .NET multi-platform app UI currently on preview, but you can actually develop apps on .NET MAUI currently. So we'll be building our first app, that is employees mobile app using MAUI. So if you are new to this channel, consider subscribing and watching our previous videos. So .NET MAUI is open source and is the evolution of Xamarin Forms, extended from mobile to desktop scenarios with UI controls rebuilt from the ground up for performance and extensibility. So if you have previously used Xamarin Forms to build cross-platform user interface, you'll notice many similarities with .NET MAUI. However, there are some differences using .NET MAUI. You can create multi-platform apps using a single project. So as you can see on our repo that we have just created, we have a single project repo, but it is extended to different platforms: the Android, iOS, Mac, Catalyst, Tizen, and Windows. So .NET MAUI has been released now for developers who want to build cross-platform mobile apps. So we have created one of our apps, so we can just actually launch our app using Android emulator so that we see how it looks. So this is our first app. Let's just launch. So if you are new to this channel, consider subscribing and watching our videos as we start this new journey of .NET MAUI. So we'll be creating mobile apps on .NET MAUI as well. So, and also for those who may want to know more about Xamarin Forms, you can comment down below in case you want us to also provide some content on Xamarin Forms. But this is now the latest technology for building mobile apps on Visual Studio 2022. So it's actually using .NET MAUI, which is a .NET multi-platform app UI, and is actually cross-platform framework for creating native mobile apps and desktop apps with C# and XAML. So it's taking time to launch. Let's just wait. Yeah, so our app is launching. So this is our first app on .NET MAUI. And you can see this is our application now on .NET MAUI. Hello world, welcome to .NET MAUI multi-platform app UI. So if you click here, you'll see that it has a counter. So this is our first app on .NET MAUI. So we are going to create an employees management app on .NET MAUI. So we have actually created our first application. So for us to begin with, we are going to install some NuGets. So if you don't know how to deal with NuGets, consider also watching our previous videos. So right click on your app, then manage NuGets. So we are going to install some NuGets that will help us to connect to SQLite database. So one of the NuGet is SQLite .NET, SQLite net. We say SQLite net, then PCL. So search for that. Then this is it with the 10 million downloads. Then install it. Sure, it's installed. Yeah, it's installed. Then the next one is SQLite. Say SQLite PCL row. Then .bundle underscore green. So this is it. Install that one as well. SQLite PCL row .bundle green. So it's installing. Then, so you can actually check on the installation of the NuGets on each of the dependents or on each of the apps. So you can see we have it installed here, and our first one is installed here. So the next one is SQLite PCL. Then we say Rocco. This is it. Also install that one. Ensure it is ticked. We have a green icon on it. Then you can see it is there. So that means it's installed. Then we have SQLite row provider. Then SQLite 3. Install that one as well. Ensure you can see a green icon just beside it. Yeah, that is it. Then we have SQLite provider dynamic CDCL. So that is one of the NuGets that we'll actually need. So once that is installed, you can actually find our NuGets on the dependencies packages under any of the platforms. You can see it supports Android, iOS, Mac Catalyst, and Windows. So if you check on each of them, it will have our NuGets already installed. So that is it on how you actually install NuGets. So now, so what we need to do now after we have installed the NuGets, the next thing that we need to do is to create a class of employees. So let's create a folder called models. So on our models, let's create a folder called, let's create a class called employee. There we are. So this is a public. So this is our class, our entity. So it is here. So this one, let's now provide some attributes. Let's provide some fields. So we have these as our key. Then you can say first name, then you can say last name, then you can say you can actually provide middle name, that is it. You can also provide email address, the middle name. You can also do date of birth. So this is date of birth. You can do date of birth. So that is how you do. That is how you create it. Then we need to annotate this ID to be our primary key. So we do that. Then we say primary key, and we say the ID will be auto-incremental. So we can annotate that is that way. Then that's fine. So the next thing that we need to do is to create a view. So come to our project. We need to create a list on where we'll be able to see our employees. So let's right click, then add, then new item, then go to .NET MAUI here, then select the content, .NET MAUI content page XAML. So that is, we are creating a XAML page. Then we say employees list, then press enter. So it will create a XAML page. You can see here. So this is our page. So on this page, we need to now, so we can alter this to be our label. You can say text. Then we can say this is employee list. So then our title of the page, you can say this is employees list. So this is where we'll be having our list of employees. So we have created that. So then we need to create another folder for our view models. So we are using MVVM approach. So this is view models. Then we'll create another class for employees view model. So we'll do this employees view model. So this is our view model. So that is it. So this view model will be using it on our employees list. So here we can actually indicate that these will be using. So let's borrow these. You can say X. So we need to register our view model. So to register our view model, come to maui.program.cs. We need to register our view model here. So we will say just below here. So views, we need to register our views and also our view models. So come on the views, we say builder dot services dot add singleton. So also consider watching our videos about dependency injection methods. to get more understanding of what we are doing. So this one will do this. Then you can copy this view, then paste it here. So need to add. So that is how we do it. So this is it. Then we do this. Then we need to register our view models as well. So that one will come down here to separate it for easy visibility. So we'll also copy this. So that is it. So this is where you register your views and the view models. So we now have our employee list. So what we need to do is also now to define on our employee list, we need to pass the view model that will be used. So this is it. We say view model. Then inside here we'll be passing. We say this dot binding context is equals to, it will be using this, so our data will be coming from this view model. So that is it. So when you come to employee list, so here we need to indicate that we'll be using that view model. So then you can say local. So we need to borrow the view model. CRL space. To borrow the and close this. So on our list, so you can see we have this fine. So we can actually leave it the way it is. So the next thing that we need to do is to include our page on our app shell. So here we can call it, we can refer it to our employees list. We just do this. So our page will be launching employees list page. Then the root. So if we just try to launch our app, let's launch our app. We should actually see our employees list, this one. So we have indicated it here. So this is the app shell where you actually specify the pages to your app. And we have our view model. We have registered our view model and the views and the view. Then we have the app shell. So let's see. So it's launching. Our app is launching. You can see we have now our employees list. So we can decorate our employees list. So if you can see there, you can specify the margin, the font. Just use the font keyword, font size, let's say 30. So if you see our app, then you can also put in some margin. So let's hit font load. Let's see. Our app is launching. There you are. So you can see we have now our employees list. So this is where our list will be shown. So we need to create now some services to connect to our application. So remember we are doing connection to our SQLite database. So let's create a folder called services where we'll be having our interfaces. So here let's add one of the interfaces for adding students. So let's create an interface, then we call it iEmployees, iEmployee service. So then we can create another. So this is public. Can create another service that will implement our implementation service. So you can call it employee service, then add it. So this is public. So let's now define some of our interfaces that we need to. So here we need to get some list of employees task, then list of list of employee. So we provide our class there. So we are getting the list of employee. Then you can say get employees list. This is one of the method. Then this method we need to our service. This is actually an implementation of iEmployee. So we are actually doing dependency injection iEmployee service. So it will be having an error. So if you just right click here and you say implement interface, it will borrow our get employees list. So that is it. So we can add another one. So this is to retrieve all the services. Then we can add another one to add task. So we expect to return boolean. Then these will be adding students, not adding. We can say add employee. So this is a function. We can add another one for delete employee. Then on delete we pass our model, the employee that needs to be deleted. Then we can have another one to update. Update employee. that is it. So if you come to our implementation, you can see we have an error. So just click on it, then say implement interface. So it will add the rest. So you can see it has added add employee, delete employee, get employee list, and update employee. So that is it. So so this is how you specify. So we have our functions to add, delete, and get employee list. So we can actually provide a constructor here. So let's say public employee. So this is a constructor. Sorry. So that is it. So we want to connect to our database. So in this class we'll do public SQLite. So you're using SQLite. SQLite connection. SQLite connection. Yes, SQLite connection. Then we can use SQLite underscore DB connection. So that is our name. Then so inside our constructor we can say if our DB connection is equals to null, then we need to establish our connection. So string DB path is equals to path dot combine. So this is the location of our database dot get folder. Then inside there is the environment dot special folder dot local application database. Then we need to provide the name of the database. So you can call it, so it's actually a string. You can call it employee, then dot extension for SQLite DB3. So that is it. Then we close. So we have established our connections. Then we say here underscore DB connection is equals to new. So that is it. Then it will create. So we are actually creating our connection dot create tables. So these we are creating our employee table there. So create table. So you can actually use sync create table. So let's create another function here called private void. Then we say setup database. So this is our method. So we want to set up our database. So we can copy these here. We provide it down here. So DB connection. Then we can say create table async private task. So you can have that as asynchronous. Do this. Create table. So let's SQLite connection. You can use a sync connection so that we use as create table. So this one will be SQLite async connection, then we pass our DB, then here, yes, this is where we have the issue. Let's use async here, SQLite async connection. So here we'll have to use async, table async, so that is fine. Then here, if our connection is null, we can actually call our method here to set up. We can actually do this, so we can do this here. Then we can call that here. We are calling our function. So set up database on our constructor. Then if our DB connection is null, then it creates the database. So another good thing, we can use await. So we can use async, then here we use await. So that is how we will create connection to SQLite database. So we need to now alter our list here, get employees list, to give us the list of employees. So we'll say var employees list. Employees list is equals to our DB connection dot table. So we pass in our model employee. So this is the model that we need to pass. So here, do this. Then you want a list, to list async. So we want a list of employees, then we need to return employees list. So we'll get our list here now. So then when adding our employee, we need to do DB connection dot insert async. Then this add will be coming with our model. So this will be employee, then employee. So here we'll be adding our employee. So here we'll be adding employee. So then we close that. So here our return type is Boolean. So we can actually change this to int, then come to our implementation int, then can have return this. That's fine. So if we come to delete also, we need something like that. So we'll delete async. Can also change this to int. Change it on our interface to int as well. Yes. Then we also do the same for update. So this we change this to int, then this will be update async. Then on our interface, remember to change it to int, then that will be fine. So all our, so something is wrong somewhere. So all the interfaces, so this is fine. Get employee list. What does this say? Command interface. Add employee. Which is okay. I've seen. So it expects our model. So remember we have changed, so on our, so this is it on our add as well. We expect our employee here. Yes. So our interface will be fine now. Yes. So we now have a correct interface. So I hope this is visible. Yeah, so this is our, so delete student. Let's see, we have implemented it. Delete student, delete employee, I mean. That is it. That's fine, that's fine. So we have created our CRUD operations on our mobile app and already connecting it to SQLite database. Our database name is employee. So the next thing that we need to do now is to perform CRUD operation. So what we need to do is to create a XAML interface for adding our employees. So right click on the app, then add new item, then select .NET MAUI, then .NET MAUI content page. So this one, select add employee. So that is it. So we have our, so the next thing that we need to have now is to create another view model for adding. So we'll call it add. Ensure that the view models and the view page has the same model, has the same naming convention. Add employee view model. So the page is add employee, then the view model should be add employee view model for easy understanding, so that you can be able to support your app going forward. So this is our view model and this is our page. So remember we need to register it on our app MAUI program.cs the way we did for employee list. So we'll copy this, then we add here, add employee. So this is the page, and you also need to register our view model here. Add employee view model. So that is it. Then we also need to register our services. So this one we'll be using add transients. Remember, ensure that you understand these methods. So we'll register our service as employee service, then we provide employee or implementation service here. So that is it. So ensure you have done this too. So the next thing that we need to do now, after we have registered our view model, add employee, our page, and our service, So we need to go back to our add employee page. Remember, we need to supply our add employee view model. View model, that's how you supply. We'll be using this. Then these dot binding context is equals to view model. Good. So on our add employee page, remember we have not provided any form. So this will be add employee. So we'll be using this to do even the update. So you can call it add or update employee. Then this one, you can have this as a stack layout with a margin of 10. So that is how you specify the top margin. So we need to specify our fields. So our label will be our first name, font size is equals to 16. So that is it. So instead of this, you can actually use this to close it. Then these are label the entry input. So we use this entry. Then we say placeholder is first name. And also close that. Good to close with this one. So this is our input. Then we can do middle name. We can call first name. Then this is middle name. This will be middle name. Our next one, we need to specify last name. This will be last name. Then the next one will be our email address. Email address. So this is our form. Let's ensure that our model, we have captured everything on our models. We have the first name, middle name, last name, then the date of birth. So we can add the date of birth here. Date of birth. Date of birth. Here we can have date of birth. Date of birth. Date of birth. So this is our adding form. So on our list form, we need to specify a command to open our form. So down here, you can provide a button. Then we call this button add employee. Then we can have it horizontal position to be at the end and expand. Then we close it. So can also have this as stack layout. Good. So on our employee list, remember this view model, employee list, employees view model. So we need to add another NuGets that will help us. So let's add MVVM community. So come to NuGets, then add MVVM community. This one, install it as one of our NuGets. Accept, install. So it's installed. So the next thing that we need to do on our employees view model, then we need to have observable property, observable objects, called observable objects. So that is it. So this one will have to include, you will now be using this Microsoft.toolkit.mvvm. Then we now want to provide a command. So our command, public async void. So we want to add a command to open our new page of adding the employees. Add update employee. Remember the employee form. So this command will be opening our employee form. So to ensure that this command is readable, this is actually a button. We use irelay command. Relay, not irelay. It's called relay command. So we need to import something here. We can install another NuGet called community toolkit. I think we installed the wrong one. Community toolkit MVVM. So we can do this. It is actually the community toolkit MVVM that needs to be installed. So if we come to our employee view model, we should be able to use this. Yes, you see, using community toolkit MVVM input. So that is it. So inside these, so we should do away with this one. Then here, ensure you have a partial. That's fine. So we need now to open our new page. App shell.current.goto async. Then you specify the name of our page. It was called add employee. So this is our page. So that is fine. So you also have to register this page on our root, our employee app shell, so that it is able to root to our page. So it's called routing.register root. Then we say name of, then we provide the name of the page and employee. Then we say type of, then the name, add employee as well, add employee. So that is it. So we have registered our root so that this command will be able to get our page. So on our employee list now, come back to employees list. we need to specify the command now. When you hit this button, what should happen? You should actually go, so type in command, then binding, then you specify the add update employee and ensure you add something called command. So on our, if you see on our view model, it is actually add update employee, but when you're specifying the command on our update list, you should add a keyword command so that you're able to read that command. So then on here we need to add specify the view model. So here you can say yes, view model, then we say is equals to CLR, the namespace, then we can specify employee app, then we say dot view models. So the data type that we are using here, that data type is equals to view models. So this is it. Copy this. Then we say dot colon, we say employees. So that is how we specify. So let's launch our app and see what happens. So if we hit this button, so we'll be seeing that command and also the form that we have created, this form. So let's wait for our app to launch. Our app is launching. So there you are. So you can see we have our employees list and we have the add button. So if we click this button, it's supposed to take us to our add form. So let's click it. There you are. So you can see we have our first name, middle name, last name, email address, and date of birth. So this is our form that we have created. So that is our first step on ensuring that we have the form and the list. So the next thing that we need to do is to add a button here for adding. So just come to the add form, then let's say add button, then the text of the button is we say save employee details. So if we just close this, and we can set the property of the fonts. So at the top of our screen, we can add the content page dot resources. So we want to set the font of our resource dictionary. We close this. Then here we say style. So this we're providing style for our page. Style. We close this as well. So here we are targeting. So you can actually target either the label in your styling. Then we provide now the setter. Then we can have the property as font size. So font size of our page. Then the value will be 10. So this is our font size. So that is it. So if we relaunch our application again, we'll be able to find now our. So we can also do this. Specify the value of the text. So our app is launching. So yeah, you can see if we click, we have our button. You can see we have now our button. So we need to specify the styling of our text view, of our text editors, or the color, text color. We can have as a value should be light gray, and have it as light gray. We close this. Yeah, so that is our color for our. Can have it as gray, gray. Slate, call it slate gray. So we can also have these, so we decorate our values on each of these one. Can have them under vertical layout. So if we press enter, we can copy these two, place it inside here. A vertical layout as well. We place these two inside here. Then our vertical layout as well. Vertical layout. Vertical layout. Vertical layout. That is it. So we have our page here. So we can launch our application. We see. Application is launching. There we are. If we click our page, you can see we have our thing. So we have just styled our. So the date. So remember we have added the date. So this is not entry. So we'll change this to date picker. Remove this. So this, if we launch this again, so we are able to see the dates. Application is launching. So if we add, yes, you can see now we have the date picker on our app. So we can select the date. So now let's proceed to our add view model. So add view model, add employee view model. So we'll also do this. We'll also have observable object. Which you can borrow these from using then this should be partial. Good. So the next thing that we need to do here, we need to specify the command. So this command will now be saving the data. So remember that command that we have provided. So this command will be relay command, and it will be public void add employee. So these will be saving our employee. So we want our fields here of observable property, and we'll have so on our let's actually have our constructor first. That is it. So we need to specify our model. To update, we say employee, then we say employee details. So since we are using that, this should be small. So here we need to, on our constructor, we need to instantiate this employee is equals to new employee. So that is it. Employee detail, I mean employee details. So we need to instantiate that is employee. That is it. So we are going to use these two as our values. So if we take this and come to add employee on entry, so we need to provide the text that we capture the input from the user. So binding, so we use that binding dot, then we say first name, first name. Then this one also we say binding, now text, say binding employee dot middle name. On our last name also we say text is equals to binding, do this, sorry, binding employee details dot last name. Then email address we say also text is to binding employee details dot email address. Then date of birth we say date. So the date to be selected here. That's date of birth. You'll be able to see that. So after we have done that, we will be capturing now data from our. Then remember we have our command now. So let's specify our command also. Command will be binding. Then we take the name of our command from our view model. So the name of our command is add employee. But remember what we said, the command should be add employee, then put in the next keyword command so that you're able to get the details. So the next thing now that we need to do is to inject our service that we created. So dependency injection, remember what we created previously, the employees service. So this is the service that we need. Then we will inject this to our constructor. So that is it. So here we can call it employee. So here we'll be having underscore employee is equals to employee. So that is it. So when we click add employee, we need to save the data. So variable dot response is equals to I employee dot add employee. Then we need to pass. So to get the data, remember these employee details. So it will be coming with the data. So we will pass our employee details there. So these will now have all our data that we need to save. So the next thing that we need to see if, so here you can have a sync, then we have this as a wait. Then we say if response is greater than 0, then what do we do? We say await dot shell dot current dot display alert. So we want to display an alert. So we say record added. So this is the title. Then the main text you provide it here. We say employee details successfully submitted. Then we need to provide the command keyword OK to be clicked. Else, if this is not true, else what do we say? We copy this and we say not added. So you can say not added. Then we say here something went wrong with the employees details. So we should actually close this, and we should close this as well. So we can actually now launch our app. We see what will happen. Then we can put in some breakpoint here. We see if it will come with the details. So if we just add something is wrong somewhere. So let me see the initializer through. Okay, let's see our add a service. So this is it. So we have done that. So let's try again. Our app is launching. There we are. So we can add employee. You can say Jose Karanja Copio. Then email. Then you can choose the date. Save. Yeah, you see the record added, employee details successfully submitted. Okay. So we now want to get a list of employees that we have added. So what we need to do, we need to come to our, let's stop this, come to our employees view. So here we can create our constructor. So here we need an observable collection where we will be storing our employees. Observable collection here. Then here we will be having our employee, then employees, get set. Then let's import our view model. So this one will be empty. New collection, observable collection, employee. Employee. That is it. So we can import this. Let's minimize these. So we can use using employee models. That is fine. So we need a method here to get our list of employees. So private void get employees list. That is it. So we need to inject our I employee public read only I employee service underscore employee. That is it. Then this one we need to have it here. Then we can say underscore employee. Sorry, this one should be like this. This one should be here. Is equals to employee. And then we should come to our get employees list. We say val employees equals to underscore employee dot get. Remember, this is a list. Then we close that. We say if employee dot count is greater than 0. This should be nullable. Count set list. These are lists. I'll do this. Say, let's see our employees. Actually a list. So this one should have as a sync, then a which. So we close this. We have this that way. Then we say we want to look for each for each saver employee in employees, this one. Then we want to add to our collection, so we say employees.add employee. So that is it. So we'll be having our list of employees retrieved from our database. So this get employee list will now give us a list of employees. So what we need to do, we need to go to our employees list XAML page. Then we need to pre-populate this. So what we need is say protected override, then void on appearing. So on appearing, we need to define something here. So on this one, we want to define our view model. Public. What is it? Then we say underscore view model. Then we say underscore view model is equals to view model. That is great. Then what we need to do here, we need to bind our list to ensure that it is actually automatically pre-populated when our page is loaded. So remember, this get list that we have here is actually a command. So you can have this as a command, and you can have these as public so that you can access it. Then on our list, we will say underscore view model dot get. So we populate our list of data. So get list command. Then we execute. Then we pass null. So that is it. So this one will now pre-populate all our students' data and actually assign it to our collection. So on our employee list, we need now to see the data. So inside our Stack Overflow, I mean a Stack layout, we have collection view. Then one now to view our data, collection view dot itemplates collection view dot itemplates item template. So this one, we need to indicate the source of our data, which is binding. Then on our view model, we are getting data from employees. So we'll provide that as our source of data. Then inside our item view, we have the data template. So this data template will say we need to indicate the data type. The data type will be models. will be models, and even employee. Then here you can specify stack layout. Then you need to specify our values in horizontal layout. Then the labels, you can have them as labels. So this one you can close it this way. So here you can have the text binding first name. You can also do this, you copy these, you have a middle name. You can have email address, last name. You can have email address, and you can have date of birth. So all our values will be shown here. You can actually leave this, you can remove this. So if we launch our app, we expect to get those data. So let's we have an error. So we can actually remove this. Yes. So our app is launching. Yeah, you can see we have some values here. So we need to actually make it look good. So on our list, when we are adding data, before we add students here, we can actually clear anything that is here before we add anything. So we need to style our page. So we come here to list, then we say on our stack layout you can have the margin to be 10. Then horizontals we can have the spacing to be 15. Then on each of these one we can have the font size to be 10, or let's say 18. We can have these here, this one here, this one here, this one here. So we can have the first name and mid. This one we can have another horizontal layout. We can just have these two, email address to be down, then first name and middle name to be horizontal. So we can launch our app. So can have this in a frame. Can have this in a frame. And then can close this inside the frame. So spacing. That should be it. Now we can actually bold it. Bold it. Bold it. We can launch. We can have this margin on our frame. Then we can have padding to 0. Okay. Do this. So you can add an employee, say Jacob, say James, Caleb, then test at gmail.com, provide our age here, then we save. So we come to our lists. Need to see why our list is not populating. I can space this to 5. Spacing issue. Also limit this to 10. 10. 10. This to 10. This to 10. Okay, let's see, we are getting any data here. And put in a breakpoint, then we can relaunch. How many records? You have 3 records. So oh, it's clearing. That's what I see. We are doing something wrong here. So you should clear our collection, not our list. You can see we have our data. So I can add another one. But here, James, Opio, Kimani. Then we can have the day, then you save. So if we go back, you can see we have our records. So this is how you create a CRUD operation in that is a CRUD operation in .NET MAUI. So assuming we want to edit our data, so what we need to do, we need to provide something here. So we have our add. So we need to provide a function to edit or get. So I want us also to redirect when adding. So let's provide an action. Call it display action. So this is a command and us to do something here. We do this. Say await app shell current Let display alert, provide select option, and say provide some text. Okay, and provide provide this edit. And say delete. So this we want to prompt an action. Select option. Okay. Now edit. Display. So this one will be display action sheet. Then this will be our response. So this one is when we want to. So we want now to redirect whether to edit or delete a record. So if response is equals to edit, we need to do something else. If again response equals to delete, say delete, so I need to do something. So when delete is selected, we want to delete that record. Employee service dot delete. So on our delete action, we need to pass the employee. So that is the employee that will supply here. So this one, we need to say value delete response equals to this. So if delete response is greater than 0, so if it has deleted, what do? We need to fetch our records. Get employees. We need to, if the record is deleted, we get our employees list. What was it? Employees, do we have it here? So this one should actually do this on our, not the add button. Sorry, we should do this on our employee view section, not on add. So I'll just copy that to our employee view section. So we need now to get that employee list. Yes. So we need to fetch this. So once it's deleted, it gets our list. So this function is here. It actually gets our list of employees. So once this is, what if this is edit? So if it's edit, we need to open the form with data. Go to async, then name of, we pass our add employee page, Then we need to pass some values because we are editing, so we need to pass data. So we need to supply it with our employee record. So let's say value param. We need a parameter now. The navigation now param is equals to new dictionary. Save now param dot add. So we need to add our page here, and we need to supply this with our model. We say employee. Then this param, we need to pass it somewhere here. So this one should be object. So it will do that. Then we can close this here. So that is how you do the editing. So on our add view model, we need to get the data on our controller. So it will supply us with our parameter. So on top of our, we need to get that value, that model. So if we use query property, then inside here, we need to have observable property. Then we pass, I think we had already defined our model. So this is the model. So we'll assign it a value. So here we'll say namespace name of, then we need to provide add employee, then we need to get the model. So this one here. So after we have done this, what we need to do, so after you have defined this, you need to add an edit gesture on our gesture, that is inside here. We need to provide a gesture recognizer. So can close that. So if it is tapped, we open the display action. So here we say command. So we can actually do this. So gesture command, we binding expose. we say consist type. So open this, we say X type should be view models. Then the employee view model. So if we do that, then you specify the path. Specify the path. Our path is here, which is this one. You come here, specify that, and you say command. Then parameter, you need to specify the parameter. So command parameter equals to binding dot. So that is it. We'll press enter here. It's fine. So we can try launching our app. Yeah, you can see we have our data. So if we try to tap one of the record, it will give us edit or delete. So if we say edit, it should take us to this page. It will take us to now the add or update employee page. But if we say delete, so let's get back. So if we say delete, it should actually delete our record. You see, we don't have any record. So if we do that, it deletes our record. So that is it. So now when we tap our record, it doesn't give us our value. So we need to have the values pre-filled here. So let's see what is not happening. So on our add view model, so we'll come here. We have this one. So we need SCPs. Have it here. So our view, we have specified our add employee on our view. On our action, we need to specify these, then our model. And if we add, we need to pass the parameters. So on our view, we need to get our view model. So that should be fine. So if we do this, see we have a list, so we can add our employee, Jared, Juma, Karanja. Test at gmail.com. Then you save. If you go back, you'll find your list. So if you edit, you can remove. So that is it about today's video. So if you are new to this channel, consider watching and commenting. Also subscribe to our channel to keep us motivated in posting new videos. So that is it. See you in our next video.